either way. But my sex was fire when all the bills was paid and I was well taken care of. And it goes to that equally yoked being honored. What I was saying to you is that if a woman doesn't feel honored and a woman doesn't feel covered and there's no provision, then a woman naturally doesn't feel the desire to submit. Yeah. Good sex is about submission. It's not about just being nasty or freaky, because you can have nasty, freaky sex and it can still be horrible after the orgasm. But when you are in a state of full submission, because this man is fully covering you and everything about you is turning you on, how do you think it's going to do for him when you lay with him and you have intimacy with this man? Because you're not only making love to the man that you're attracted to, you're making love to the man that's covering you. And that's a whole different level of intimacy, right?
I don't agree with the idea that she presented that intimacy somehow breeds submission. And the reason, and I have several examples for this, but if intimacy bred submission, then there would be no such thing as sexless marriages. Because as couples get to know each other more and go through more experiences together and have a more intimate understanding of one another, they should be increasing in sexual desire. But actually the opposite happens. As they get to know each other more and they have more intimate experiences with each other, the sexual desire tends to go down less. Now, my belief is that women submit to who they want to. And part of my belief is that women use submission as a tool to gain leverage over men that they don't have leverage over. So, for example, we'll do this submission thing. There are husbands that are paying all the bills, that know all of their wife's intimate details of their mind, that are not getting sexual submission, right? But then there are women who will get on a state bus and go 4 hours to go see a dude in jail who they only get to talk to for 3 minutes at a time on a collect call, and there's no actual intimacy there. But she'll get on that bus. If he says, yo, I need you to go downtown, pick up a brick from homie, I need you to break it up, I need you to go da-da-da, then I need you to go over there, drop off the work, da-da-da. They'll do that. And they'll do it word for word, detail for detail. Why? Because the guy who's in jail is actually unattainable. He's in jail, and so she's willing to submit in order to try to gain his favor, in order to try to gain his attention. But a man who's actually has an intimate connection with her closely will probably not get submission. That's also the reason why women don't date friends. This is why the nice guy, the best friend, is never hitting the cheeks, because clearly that's the guy that you can express yourself to and creates a space for you to tell everything. This is your best friend. But yet you're not giving him the cheeks. You're not giving him submission. So the idea that intimacy and submission are connected at all is an entire farce. Again, like I said before, submission is a tool women use to gain leverage. Once the leverage is gained, the submission will be gone. This is why most guys will experience women jumping through hoops for them when there's no title. But as soon as the title comes involved, she's willing to do less. As soon as the ring comes involved, she's willing to do less. As soon as the marriage comes, she's willing to do less. It's all about leverage, in my opinion. And that's all it is. A woman is only submitting to who she wants, who she desires. If she views you as more valuable than her and she wants leverage over you, she will use submission as that tool so that you can gain an intimate attachment to her. But that's all it is. It's not this whole intimacy makes a woman just open up and be more submissive. There's so many examples that prove that it's the exact opposite. I'll end there.
All right. Who would I say? Going next. Cheyenne, then and Kelly.
Who did you just say?
Cheyenne, Kelly.
Okay, so I think that these are all different words, right? I don't think intimacy necessarily means sex, but they can definitely work together, right? I don't think that submission necessarily means sex, but you can be submitted to sex, right? I think that we always bring things back to sex, just like we always bring things back to money. Because men want sex and women want money. But I don't think that they're the same. I agree with Brittany with her definition of intimacy is when you're vulnerable around someone, you communicate all of those types of things with your partner. You feel something to this person. I feel safe around this person. So I want to give him, we have an intimate connection. There's something about our relationship. I believe the sex part. Like you can love a person and not be sexually attracted to them anymore, if that makes any sense. I think that for men, and we've heard this on the internet, and I think it's so true. Women do not like to have sex when they're stressed. Yeah. So just like it has nothing to do with your love for your man. That's a different thing. You can love your man. That's why she ain't gonna leave you. She love you. She just don't feel like having sex. I think that women, when they are stressed out, they are overworked, they look at sex being a job, right? But when they're relaxed and they live a, they're like, oh, I mean, it's kind of like, when you're not together, that responsibility is in there. So you're like, oh, I want to be around him. I want to, be all up on him, because there's no responsibility to it. It's like you got a little space, you get a little excitement, I guess, so to speak. It's almost like people, when they get married, they want to marry the single person, but in a marriage, right? Like he was cleaning his own house up. He did, he was eating. Now you want me to clean your house up. Now you want me to work. I mean, people just don't like to be overworked. People don't like to be made to do things. It's the same thing with job. Think about your job. We had the whole remote thing. You want to be able to go in when you want to go in, right? You don't want to be overworked, because you'll start hating your job too if it feels more like a job instead of what it's supposed to be. Am I making any sense here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole sex part about it. I just don't want people to keep on saying submission means sex. It does not. Intimacy necessarily means sex. It can definitely work together, but they're not necessarily the same thing, right? And I think I was trying to include her situation with she don't want to have sex if the rent is not paid, because I think that's most women don't want to, have sex if they gotta work all day long and then work on top of it. And then you probably make it get on top. That's even worse. It's more work. Okay, just had to throw that in there. But I just feel, no.
Damn, y'all, you just made marriage sound so terrible for men.
I don't think that, no, because the right marriage is right? That's the problem. See, y'all thinking that people can just marry anybody. You got to marry who compliments you.
Well, no, for sure. But saying you just
said having sex is like work for y'all. So y'all got to go clock in and go and it's a job. This is sad. Again, I'm gonna say it again. But they don't give a damn about us.
I would argue.
If giving me some pay is work, that is sad.
No. I would argue that you don't care anything about her.